Hi, Greg Dell with Dell Disability Lawyers and Alexander Palamara, and we're going to talk about one of Alex's resolved cases against Unum Insurance Company, the world's largest group disability insurer. And this was a great victory, especially since you're representing a truck driver who worked for J.B. Hunt, and we've represented a lot of truck drivers, which is a very physical job. As I don't know, maybe people don't realize how physical it is. They think, oh, you just sit all day, but it's a super physical job, and this was a sad denial, but a great outcome. So I'd like you to discuss the background of the case, what you were able to do, and then we'll talk about some tips that people could take away from this to help them with their Unum disability case.
Yeah, uneducated people might think that being a truck driver is a sedentary job, but it's actually a medium level, or classified as a medium level demand occupation, just because it's more than just sitting there all day. I mean, sitting there actually is pretty tough, and it's actually, to be a Class A, over-the-road, long-haul truck driver is a lot of work, shifting gears and whatnot, loading and unloading loads and whatnot, lifting trailers and whatever it is. It's actually a medium-level job. Sometimes it's maybe considered a heavy-duty job, but this one is actually considered a medium-level job. But unfortunately, earlier this year, in January of 2021, our client became disabled. He was actually hospitalized for chest pain, back pain, stomach pain, abdominal pain, and whatnot. Basically, a whole plethora of things that he was going through. So he was actually hospitalized for a couple of days. While in the hospital, his treating providers came. Everyone was very supportive of his claim, and he realized, everyone said, you cannot go back to being a truck driver right now. It'd just be too dangerous.
What were the disorders? Digestive disorders?
Well, he has a few things. Diverticulitis is one thing. He suffers from COPD, polyneuropathy, hepatitis C, chronic hepatitis C. He has ongoing chronic ailments that all just kind of came together like a hurricane and hit him down at once. He's working for 10 plus years for J.B. Hunt, which is like one of the biggest truck.
So he's not a healthy guy to begin with.
Not a healthy guy, but he fought through it. He fought through it for a number of years. He had a number of issues going on, always treating with his providers, but he got to the point where he couldn't do it because obviously he was hospitalized. So while he was hospitalized, his doctor said, you should apply for disability benefits. It would not be safe for you to drive. The doctor was actually very supportive. His primary care physician filled out an attending physician statement stating that there was no way this guy could safely drive for the following reasons. And he was very confident in his claim, sent in some medical records with his application. And lo and behold, in early March of this year, 2021, his claim was denied. And obviously he was shocked.
So let me ask you this, because as you're telling the story, I was wondering, was he approved at all? And obviously he wasn't. So if he were to say, okay, Unum, you think I'm fine, I'm going to go back on the road. Now he gets in an accident because he doesn't feel good to drive. Is Unum going to be responsible because they told him, hey, we think you're fine, go drive?
Not at all. So it's easy for them to say, hey, you're not disabled, get back out there, because they have there's no risk for them for saying that. They're not paying benefits, and they're not going to get sued if the guy actually goes out and hurts somebody else or hurts himself.
We should try that one day, sue them, God forbid something happens. But go ahead.
But thankfully, our client was smart enough to realize that it would be too dangerous for me to be out there, and he thought he couldn't physically do it anyways. So he found us, and I quickly spoke with him, and I realized something is wrong here. What he's telling me, what he's describing in his daily life, that there has to be a way to prove to Unum that this guy is disabled. Now, J.B. Hunt's long-term disability policy is unique, that there's only a 30-day elimination period. So you become disabled at the end of the January, benefits should kick in the end of February. So this guy is going with no benefits whatsoever during this time period. There's no short-term disability benefits. Obviously, Social Security hasn't kicked in yet because it's been so soon. But so we got going on this claim immediately, ordered a copy of the claim file. And the reason why we did that is because we want to see a few things. I wanted to see what proof my client sent to Unum to prove his claim. And I wanted to see what justification Unum was relying upon to deny the claim. And to deny the claim, they did two things. One, they used a designated medical officer, which is a Unum employee. It's a doctor that works for Unum, doesn't do anything else, just a full-time doctor employee of Unum who does reviews on a daily basis, multiple reviews a day.
All day long.
And the other thing they did was a quote-unquote independent physician review, where they had a doctor, I don't even know what state he was from, not from the state that our client was from, a doctor who's never actually seen our client, never evaluated our client, never laid eyes upon our client. Is just a doctor performing what I call a paper review, just looking at the papers and then normally giving an opinion that's supportive of the people that's paying his, the check here. Right. So the designated medical officer and this independent physician reviewer are both family medicine doctors. They don't specialize in, they're not neurologists, they're not whatever the appropriate specialty in this case. And they both came up with the opinion that there's just the medical records did not support any restrictions and limitations or any support that you're unable to perform the duties of your own occupation.
Did they state what was missing?
No, they really did not. They just said there was not enough physical support here. Basically what they both said. They're both small opinions. You know, they're 5 pages long.
They summarize
4 pages are fluff of summary,
Yeah.
and there's maybe 2 sentences, maybe 2 paragraphs at most, but normally about 2 sentences that really give the opinion of the claim. Very typical case here. So I saw this and I realized that what my client is stating and what the opinions of these doctors are stating, what my client's doctors are saying, they're not gelling together. There's something missing here. So we realized we need to get updated medical records from his treating providers, updated support from his treating providers, and we need to send him to physical functional testing. If this guy is saying he can't do his medium level job, then a functional capacity evaluation will likely be something that can show, and confirm what he's telling me. So we did that immediately. We got some medical records together. We sent him to a physical therapist to do a functional capacity evaluation, and the results were overwhelmingly supportive. I mean, the results, when they do these testing, there's reliability built in. They want to see if this person is being reliable, if the testing is reliable, and they do some sort of testing to figure out whether you're malingering or not. He came back 100% reliable, and it showed that he unable to do. Actually said he can't even do a sedentary job. It said he might be able to do some sedentary work, but with his various numbness in his hands and whatnot, he would not be able to sit all day long. So there was no way he can do it, let alone a medium level job. FCE was overwhelmingly supportive. Then what I did was I drafted up attending physician statements. When you apply for benefits, the insurance company will send you a blank attending physician statement that's kind of just a one-size-fits-all for any specialty, any doctor. Yes, your doctor has to fill those out, but if you want to get on claim, it's better for your doctors to either write a letter expanding upon that form, or maybe even do what we do, or do what I did for my client, is I drafted up my own attending physician statement that was perfect for the specialty of the doctor that I was asking questions of. So the first doctor, his neurologist, said, there's no way he can do this. He suffers from peripheral neuropathy, numbness, pain, yada, yada, yada. There's no way this guy could safely drive his truck. I also reached out to his family medicine provider that pretty much said the same thing, but actually with different diagnoses, saying he suffers from hepatitis C and diverticulitis, COPD, etc., and there's no way he can do his job. So I have 2 different doctors saying for different diagnoses, different reasons, this guy can't do his job. So there's just no way that Unum should have denied the claim, but with our appeal, there's no way they could uphold their denial. And lo and behold, we filed an appeal, and within 9 days, they sent a letter saying, we've reevaluated the claim, did an updated review, and we find that our decision was wrong, overturning that claim, overturning that decision, and now putting your client on claim. Within 6 days of receiving that approval letter, our client had received the back benefit check. So
Wow.
it was from the November the 9th to November the 23rd, our appeal filed to our client getting paid.
So incredible turnaround on that case, not the norm, but this one was, I guess you presented such a strong case that they felt compelled to say, this is a no-brainer, we're going to reverse. Question though is that this is early on in the claim. Is there a change of definition coming up where it's going to go for an unable to do the duties of his own occupation, which is medium to heavy duty, like you were saying, and then they're going to say, okay, your definition changed at 12 or 24 months, now we think you can do a sedentary job?
Of course. This policy does have a 24-month change in definition of disability, and we have to keep on strengthening this file because Unum and any insurance company, that's what they do. If they approve your claim, don't just sit back and relax and think you're going to be fine. You have to keep on supporting your claim because they can deny you at any time, and they specifically like to deny claims at that 24-month change in definition of disability because it becomes easier for them to deny the claims at that point because not only do you have to prove, no longer do they have to prove that you can't do your own job, it's a slew of jobs, any sedentary job. If they think that you can do a sedentary job, they're going to deny your claim. So you have to prove that you can't do a sedentary job. So you have to keep on getting more information from your doctors, more support from your doctors, and more medical records, and maybe even more testing done to basically prove that there's no way you can do a sedentary job so you can forego being denied. Because a lot of people get denied at that 24-month mark, then it takes months to get back on claim, so they're going without benefits for 6 to 9 months. So what we do is we prevent that from happening to the best of our abilities, and which we're going to do here.
So that's what you're going to continue to do for this claim. And so really you've won the first step in the battle. Stage 2 is going to be to get over this change of definition, and then the claimant should be, easier because there's not another hurdle in terms of policy language you have to deal with. It's still going to be the regular monthly review by Unum, which when we handle appeals, I know we continue to represent the claimants month after month after month, because getting the appeal overturned is just step one for us. Then getting over every monthly evaluation and managing the claim and dealing with the doctors and dealing with the claimant statements is what we continue to do with these claims, as opposed to just saying, hey, we won. We don't want to set you up for failure again. We want to make sure that you continue to get paid as long as you need this policy.
100%.
If you are a Unum claimant and you need help with a denial, or you're applying, or you just want help managing your claim, feel free to reach out to Alex, myself, any of our disability lawyers. No matter where you live in the country, we're always available to assist you, and we look forward to discussing your Unum disability claim with you. Hi, I'm Gregory Dell, the managing attorney of Dell Disability Lawyers, and I hope you find the video you just watched helpful. We put these videos out all of the time, and we'd love if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel. Beyond our videos on our YouTube channel, we also have lots of information available on our website at diattorney.com, and we encourage you to come to our website. The goal is that we want you to be educated about the disability insurance process, and when you get to our website, you'll see that we have information all about your specific disability insurance company, your occupation, and your medical condition. And we've designed our website such that you can easily search our website to find things that you may specifically be looking for. Now, at our website, we have thousands and thousands of pages of information, hundreds of videos that you can search, plus we're building a section of reviews of all the disability insurance companies, and we have the Ask Our Lawyer section where you can go ahead and ask us any questions that you may have. Now, we realize that you may not need us right now, but you may need us in the future to help you with your disability claim, and we think one of the best ways to keep in touch is by clicking the button below and subscribing to our channel. And most importantly, again, no matter where you live in the country, we're always available. Just go ahead and give us a call. We're happy to discuss your claim and let you know immediately if we can help you.